Okay, we are back. Yes, we are. So the cartestlive.com. And yes, if you did send one the other day, you would need to resubmit. It's just a whole new day.
Okay, we're
So
back like
please
we
just
never left.
resubmit.
Sorry, I'm just talking shit. Sorry, I mean, we
What's
just telling them to send in their stuff. I'm just like, we back like we never left.
we act like we back like we never left. So yes, the cartestlive.com. That's where you'll submit. I'll put the link in the chat right now.
We back.
And
Daniel's in here too. Sorry,
yes,
Daniel. We still got
see,
your record pulled up.
yeah, we didn't forget about you. And even then, just in case, we would have made sure we played your record. So the cartestlive.com. Yes, we are back like never left.
Let's see. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, you got that. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Cartestlive.com.
All right. So Daniel's in here. Should we start this? Should we do this
Yep.
thing?
Let's do this. Run this back.
All right. So if I remember right, we just want overall mixed balance feedback, and this is the
Mixed
master.
balance. Yeah, mixed balance feedback. And let me just make sure I have the right things. I'm saying the right stuff. Yeah, mixed feedback on the balance. This is the master.
Okay. Cool. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna jump up here to where like drums and stuff are real quick. Actually, no.
Mm.
Let's just play this thing. Let's do this. I'm gonna pull out this EQ, Daniel. I was hearing some things.
As a man, I know there's certain things in life I will go through, and that is expected, always expected. Be not weary while doing good was the thing I held on to, but I had questions. I had to question myself. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? Would I ever be? Be the man to be? Cause even with this made up mind, there were times my heart thinks twice. Hey, Lord, I need help. Cause my heart is talking more than you. Lord God said, don't want to make the wrong move. So silence my heart. Silence my heart. Less of me and more of you. Yeah. You see, this heart has a mind of its own.
All right, cool. Yeah, I like the song. This high frequency here at like 10, 11K, I'm hearing in the vocals, Daniel, is just like a little aggressive. The other big thing for me was it seems like the bass line when it comes in kind of drowns out the kick a little bit, and then even when the bass line's not there, I feel like the kick could probably punch through a little bit more. The like tom percussive noises sound good. I like those. I don't know if you have those separated or not, but if you do, it would be cool to try to bring the bottom end out of the kick just a little bit so it stands on its own a little more. And then when the bass comes in, just try to balance those out a little more so that the kick doesn't get too lost because the kick's pretty big for me and the rhythm of that record. It's like all toms and kick. Um, let's see. All right. Chat. Yeah, I see Ellen Dot hissing though. Yeah, that's this frequency in the vocals is 10K to 11K. I think I don't know if you're using a template or not, but I also like notice in a lot of content that's online surrounding mixing or anything like that, it's like for some reason it's always like boost 10K, um, which isn't like necessarily wrong or anything, but if you've recorded with like a Sony C800, there's a lot of 10K already in it. So like when I used to record the Sony C800, I was attenuating things at 10K, and so if you are using a template or if you're using that as a rule of thumb, I would say just go back to using your ears. Like if your signal already has enough 10K, um, you're not going to need to add any more to it. And I think that's what ends up happening. On top of that, when you start adding compressors and things like that, it starts bringing out certain frequencies more. So maybe after you add all of your compression and things like that, or they're bringing your vocal out and adding some life to it, just make sure you go back in and kind of clean up little frequency areas that might be causing issues. But yeah, that was the main focus for me, was the bass kind of overpowers the kick. I'd like to hear the kick come through with a little more low end, and the vocals are a little hitsy, which was this about what I have 10,724 hertz. So I think about just attenuating those, and otherwise, I like it. It's like a little retro vibe. The toms and everything sounded great. They were punchy. So I like everything else. Maybe just those few things to touch up there, Daniel. All right.
And I think you basically addressed this, but in the chat, he mentioned about loudness. If he was able to give feedback about loudness.
Oh yeah, we can check out what this was reading at. It looks pretty squashed. I'm assuming it's pretty loud.
I want to make the wrong move, so silence my heart. Silence my heart.
Yeah, I mean, it's reading at -8. I think that's a good ballpark to be in as far as if you're trying to compete with some commercial records. When you go to add low end and boost the kick and things like that, you're probably gonna have to bring the bass down a tiny bit, I would assume, but that's also gonna eat up some of that that volume. So you'll either, mastering engineers do their thing, and I'm a mix engineer, so I don't know a crazy amount of secrets on the mastering side, but the more you boost that kick, the more it's going to get cut off from the limiter. I know there's ways around that and tricks to keep your transient straight and things like that. But you also, I wouldn't be too concerned about the exact number of what your loudness is. My friends that are mastering engineers master to whatever sounds good for the record. Obviously, you're within a certain range, but I wouldn't focus on like, oh, this was my reference and this was at -7 and I'm at -9, so I need to get the other 2. It's like, if that ruins the transients and things of the master, I wouldn't sacrifice that 2 dB unless your artist requests it. But otherwise, yeah, it's right in the ballpark. You're hitting -8. I think most stuff that I get back from my mastering engineers are, depending on the material, but right around in that ballpark, -7, -8, -9, 10. So good work there. All right, and then Anya, who we going with next here?
Okay, so up next is Ellis.
Ellis.
Yes.
All right.
And Ellis just basically wants any feedback. Doesn't matter.
Okay, just feedback on everything, song, mix, all that?
Yeah, it looks like whatever I think you feel you want to critique, he basically said doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Looks like it's called Need Time.
Yes.
All right.
And for everyone, it's thecartestlive.com. Let me know if you guys are running into any situations or if you need any help or guidance on the forum. I've checked. Everything should be a go, but just let me know.
Cool. All right. So we got Need Time by Ellis Henry here. Let's go ahead and he wants just feedback on everything.
Yeah, whatever you think you want to give feedback on. He literally just said doesn't matter.
Perfect. So let's just leave that open. Let's give this a listen.
Taking shots won't fix it when we make up. Come and slide on this when you wake up. I know I've been distant, but I hope you know it ain't personal. But sometimes I need time.
Yeah.
We wake up.
Let me talk to you. Yeah. Look, you tired of dealing with fuck boys, I'm not that. Neither am I gonna brag, but I got that gas that you put in a tank. What I think is you real, cause you put on a stress, but you pop back. Better than ever, you fall, then we get up. Forget the fighting, baby, we can get the bread up. Steps ahead, baby, you done been ahead of them hoes in the range, better go and get their lead up. On the rain in the city, I got green on me like a pasture, yeah. You a queen in a south town, I'm a king like Chris, not an actor, yeah. Yeah, look, but I got you, shorty, just keep on working on me, yeah. That's why I gotta tell you.
Taking shots won't fix it when we slide on this when you wake up.
I love it.
I know I've been kissing, but I hope you know it ain't personal. But sometimes I need time.
Yes.
We wake up.
Vibe. Look. Turn me out. You bust the back wide open. I got dope for sale. That good Frank Ocean water. Flow pure as cross the border. Tell your mama I already done cuffed her daughter. Order. Put me in our class alone. And I pray you ain't lying with a man at home. If you are, then he might as well just pick the bone. Cause I gotta have it when you hit my phone. I'm a master. If you ain't know nothing, I'ma put you on something. I'm a G.O.D. Yeah. Wanna talk, got things on your mind. I ain't told my sex. You can put it on me. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I got you, shorty. Just keep on working on you. Yeah. That's why I need to tell you that
taking sides won't fix it when we make up.
yeah,
Come and slide on this when you wake up.
and I love it.
I know I've been kissing, but I hope you know
Just
it
vibe.
ain't personal. But sometimes I need time.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, good job, good job, good job. Yeah, I fuck with it. I think it all sounds pretty good. The vocals are pretty smooth. For me, I was just this low end. Like you could see in the frequency spectrum,
That
taking sides won't fix it.
like all this mid range is the loudest point,
that
Taking sides won't.
and this top end here,
that
and the low end is quieter than both of those, which shouldn't be the case. Anything that has like sub information, like music that has sub information, whether it's R&B or hip hop, whatever, the human ear doesn't hear bass as well as higher frequencies, which is why the 808 and the kick and everything always eat up all the headroom in our mixes because we have to turn it up to hear it. So in reality,
Curtis,
yeah,
quick. Would you mind just dragging the Pro Q4 like a little bit more over to the right?
to the right.
Yes.
Oh, I see what screen you're on. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just a shelf. There's nothing else to be seen over there, but you see.
Yeah.
you see
Okay. It's
it?
just IG. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. So it looks like it's all in the vertical window. Are you still seeing it? Cool, Anya?
It might, it might be delayed on my end, so I may not know just yet. Let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah, it wasn't really cutting anything off. It's just the end of the shelf.
Okay.
The end of the shelf on that side. So yeah, your end analyzer, like your low end should be the loudest point, and then it should be like cascading from up here down to the zero line. So when you see this one,
and I love it.
it's almost like a flat frequency response and then a couple bumps here and there. So yeah, I would definitely boost the low end and make that more prominent to get some warmth and everything into the mix and to provide like a good base for the vocal to sit in between stuff. Right now, the vocal is the star of the show, but that's really all that's there. Like it's hard to feel the record. Like I hear the record, it sounds nice, but I don't feel the record. And adding that low end boost and evening out that frequency curve, I think will help out in this song. Otherwise, I thought it was cool. It's a good little vibe of a song. The artist is cool. So overall, yeah, good job, Ellis. I think maybe just focus on that low end a little bit more, and then I kind of like how the hi-hats poke like they were. I know in the frequency spectrum, it looked like they might be poking a little too much in the high frequency, but I feel like it sounds good, so maybe I wouldn't address that at all. But definitely the low sub frequencies for sure. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna send you an email. Just one moment.
Cool.
Okay.
Um,
And let's see. 3, 2, 1.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
No.
All right. And who's next up?
Okay, so you're gonna see email come in. I believe it's pronounced Scythe from IG. And I just sent it just now. And basically, Scythe just wants to get better on the mix. Says how to get better, mix, make it cleaner, essentially.
All right. So
Okay.
we got just mix notes on how to get cleaner on the mix.
Yep. And yeah, there's a Scythe from IG.
Cool. It's called My Chick Bad
Hey.
or Only Jams Wave. I don't know. There's two names on it. I'm not sure which one
Mm-hmm.
is the title, but
I believe. Yeah, that's true. Looks like my chick bad. Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, cool. All right. So this looks like it's been limited, mastered, all of that.
Mm.
And let me just default this EQ out of here. Cool. All right, let's give this thing a listen.
Chef cooking for me. My cheek bad.
My chick bad, badder than yours. My chick do stuff that I can't even put in words. My chick bad, tell me if you seen her. She always bring the racket like Venus and Serena. All white top, all white belt, and all white jeans, body looking like milk. No time for change, she's full grown. My chick bad, tell your chick to go.
My cheek bad. My cheek bad.
What? This? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I like the vibe. It's got a nice little swing on the production. I was just adding some of this this low end in on just like the mid band, just because most likely that's where the bass sits. I know the bass synth might have some stereo stuff. Um, Everything sounds real clean. There's a place for everything. I think it just for me like because the top end of the hats is sitting above the top end of the synths. The low end starts to feel like it's not there as much. I don't know if that's just my bias for I work a lot in hip hop and R&B and stuff, but I feel like in like it's not like the vocals sound sharp or that they sound like they're not being surrounded by the other music or anything. I just feel like the song itself feels a little digital without this low end boost. I think the low end boost is what's going to add kind of like that analog feeling warmth to it. But otherwise, I think it's a great job. Everything else seems to be balanced out pretty well. I don't know if is that considered dubstep? I don't really know, but it has like that electronic swing and everything to it. So I like the vibe of the record. I think my only note is to maybe add some low end, a little more low end in the sub region to kind of balance out the frequency spectrum a little bit more. Just looks like the top end is the loudest thing in this mix. Let me analyze loudness real quick and just see where we're at. Yeah, so super loud, which is, in this genre of music, that's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, -6 integrated LUFS, short terms right around the same. Yeah, RMS is over 0. Bussin' on that RMS right there. But yeah, overall good job. I think maybe just add some low end into the situation, and I think that's gonna balance out real nice. He said, "Song makes me want to break out the glow sticks and just vibe." Man, if I had some glow sticks, I would turn these lights off right now too. You right on that one.
Right.
Yeah, you right on that one. And it's
Yeah,
actually cool to hear like Luda's voice on like a dubstep kind of record. I don't know why, but I feel like
right.
that's like a perfect fit for
I
him.
just listened to this song like a few days ago. It's so random because I really love Luda's music. So that's just so funny.
Yeah, Luda. I was a big Luda fan as well, but it's good to hear him on something like this. Kind of fits his voice.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so
Okay,
it
so
looks
up
like
next,
What are we up
Yes,
next
I
on?
just sent you this email. You'll see Ceno,
Cool, 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 cool. Let's do
also
this.
known as, let me just make sure on YouTube, LDN dot music. Yes, that's what I did. So yes, Ceno LDN dot music. You are up next,
I can't.
and basically Ceno would like to know more, get feedback on depth, vibe, and space. Basically asking, does the track bounce and knock?
I can tell by the name of this, or by the naming convention of this track, it is somebody that I know. Just so we know. All right, so let's import this up into here. All right, so you said we're trying to focus on depth, and what was the end of that? I'm sorry, Anya.
So depth, vibe, and space, and does the track bounce and knock?
Bounce and knock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's play this from the top.
Ceno. Yeah. Bad cheeks. Okay, lifestyle made it. Drip too hard, underdog. Ooh, I claim it, I want it all. Feelings heavy on the shoulders, watch the way she fall. Tell me that she waiting on me, wanna see me cool. Do the thing twice. Dang, bulletproof these haters for my life. They can't see that these angels sitting on my right side. Millie rock when I'm in the shops. Got my brothers right beside me. If you step in, what's good? LDM puff through my veins, that's the only way. Diamonds dancing in my ears, can't hear what people say. So she come my way. In my section, pouring out a tool, one for her. And my next team, they coming home. Wanna change with the moonlight. She got me tripping MJ. Look her moves tight, thriller, what a feeling. Do this right away, she wearing booty shorts, making niggas break their necks. Tell me that's her favorite sport. Suit up, baby, just in case. Bust it open wide, so bad sheets. Foreplay on the velvet, no care, no just in case. Come and flown and she know. Stay in your lane. If you don't, nice to see you. Before me, dream chaser, so I set the stars as my limit. Put the galaxy inside the Milky Way until she feel it cooling out. Let me show you what I'm all about. Dash through the Beckies till she say my name. Visa on the table, swipe my heart, what you purchasing? Slim, thick, clean, she my victim. Check my aura, no re on my system. Call me daddy, never had a father figure in her life. Looking up, need a guy with her eyes open wide. I got wanna change with the moonlight. She got me tripping MJ, look her moves tight, thriller, what a feeling. Do this right away, she wearing booty shorts, making niggas break their necks. Tell me that's her favorite sport. Suit up, baby, just in case. Heard you want it, stay.
Yeah, I think the record got swing. I think there's a good amount of depth. What I was messing with up here is there's just a frequency in the high end of the vocals. It looks like I ended up at like 8K. That was kind of messing with my ears. It wasn't like super abrasive. Kind of nitpicking there a little bit, but I kind of like the way that feels. And then just trying to hear what it sounds like with just a 2 dB boost in the sub region. Sometimes with like the hip hop sounding records, I feel like sometimes like they're kick driven or it's low mid driven or something like that. I feel like having, I think where I'm at 30 hertz, like adding some of this super sub range kind of adds like a little separation from like where the vocals and everything are sitting to where the kick is hitting and the bass is hitting. It didn't sound too much out of balance or anything from the jump. This is some tonal stuff that, is my personal preference. But yeah, the record's got movement. I like the delivery and from the artist, like all that, everything sounded cool. Let's see what we got here in the chat.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay. And yes, I hope that helped. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay, and they can
Yes,
see.
sir. He's from UK to Canada. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. Yeah. You could tell that that was not American music.
You're welcome, Ceno. So up next we have Mixed by Nair.
All right. Let me just
All right.
All right, all right, all
All
right.
right. You have to make it more, right? We got to bring the voice, the tone, and everything. So yeah, but mixed by Nair basically said, wait, let me gather myself.
Yeah, let's regroup. Let's regroup and
Regroup.
revisit
Okay,
this.
mixed by Nair. So yes, you are up next, and basically the feedback that he would like to receive from you is just trying to give feedback on the general mix. Would love to hear what you have to say about the way the vocals sit and the quality of the mid range.
Okay, cool. And this
And
one's
that's on YouTube.
it's called Pick a Side.
Pick a side.
All right.
Pick a side. All right. All right. All right.
All right, pick a side, all side, all side. All right. Let's play this from the top real quick.
Pray to God you not my enemy, yeah. Cause it got me wanna do wrong. I watch my partner turn a friend to me, yeah. In the middle trying to get along. Waiting till that nigga going, pick a side, yeah. 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 Observing Tony Soprano deal with a snake. I let the powers that be in my choices summon my fate. I keep my head high. All we had was dollars and dreams. Playing with free. Just tricky. Probably won't be so compassionate after I hit 50. Gone in the wind is Dixie. Bad as to drink to kidneys. Better not wait.
Hey Curtis, I'm gonna just cut you off right quick.
Stuck in this.
Yep.
Is there anything that seems different maybe on your end? He's saying that it's getting compressed on something. He's not sure if it's just a YouTube thing. So maybe we could just double check. But people probably thinking maybe it's just YouTube. Says it sounds like there's a bus compressor on it. That's what he feels.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't see anything, but I just want to
yeah, there's nothing on the actual track. I mean, as you can see, there's just an
I just
EQ
see like
and
yeah.
Yeah, and there's just a
Trying to
meter.
double check. Yeah, it could be YouTube. My bad. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut it off, but it was just
No,
because
you're
I
right.
know most people, you know.
No,
He's
that's
like,
good.
don't put my thing if it sounds like that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, but it could be YouTube. Let me see if anybody else is hearing it different. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let me
Well,
see,
I guess
hold
we just run it to a certain point, but
Let me see
just
if
want to double check.
I have like my volume knob on this mixer boosted a little bit for my headphones. Let me just see if I turn that down.
Okay.
If we fix that, hold on. Let's play this from here.
Pray to God you not my enemy, yeah. Cause it got me wanna do wrong. I watch my partner turn a friend to me, yeah. And
All right, we still hearing the same compression type thing. On my end, I'm just hearing from Pro Tools, so it sounds fine to me. But
Yeah, I wouldn't really be able to tell you. I mean, people are feeling like it's live stream compression, but I mean, I
it
know
could be that.
Nair's been doing this for a while too and submitting music, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it could be just really the live stream, you know, the way it is with YouTube.
Let me see if there's anything here.
And just so y'all know, we did this today, but ideally every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is where you can submit your music for a chance to have Curtis to listen to it and, you know, provide feedback. All you need to do is participate, be active in the chat, bring good vibes, don't spam, and yeah,
No spam.
no spam.
No spam. So yeah, I'm not hearing the compression stuff on my end. It could just be something in YouTube.
Yeah, he said, I think if Curtis heard it, he'd be able to make out the heavy pumping, he said.
Yeah, so it could just be, it could just be like whatever's going on in the stream.
On the stream.
From Pro Tools, I don't hear the pumping that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just, just trying to double check and make sure.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna get back into this real quick and figure out. There's a couple frequencies that I'm hearing.
observing Tony Soprano deal with a snake. I let the powers that be in my choices summon my fate. I keep my head high. All we had was dollars and dreams. Playing with freedom on the pavement at the swipe. Passionate after I hit 50. Gone in the wind is Dixie. Bad as to drink to kidneys. Better not wait round to get me. Cause I won't let one you slip me. Stuck in disguises forever better. Pray to God you not my enemy, yeah. Cause it got me wanna do wrong. I watch my partner turn a friend to me, yeah. In the middle trying to get along. Waiting for that bitch to go and pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, yeah. flight with the bags, I still never saw him tripping. Curtis Snow was calling, they bluffing, begged them to show me different.
So yeah, I think all the mid-range stuff sounds good. I think I know that's what we were looking for feedback on. I think all the mid-range stuff sounds great. I think again, maybe just and again, this could just be me and my preferences, but like a little, I think, what is this, 1.68 dB, adding some 60 hertz for me helped balance out the low end a little bit with the top end. And then it's not like a sibilant sound that you hear in it. It's like that, I guess I call it like the chalky frequency. So yeah, I'm at like 14K. Something in the vocals there. I know when we end up like doing some high shelves to vocals, sometimes, we bring up a lot of good stuff that we want to bring up in the top end, but then certain frequencies just don't work for certain records or vocalists or whatever it is. So after I, boost the shelf or something, I'm going to go in and do some surgical things, which this is probably one of the things I would do. And you could do this with a FabFilter Pro Q3 for whichever you have. I also, if you're familiar with Mic DSP, is it the AE 400 EQ? It's like a multi-band.
Question.
Yeah.
Bway just asked in YouTube, what do you look for more in kicks in the mix, the boom or the click?
It depends on the material, really. If you have like an 808 or something that's driving all the boom, and then I'm probably gonna want to hear like the more of the click part, so that you're hearing like the transient and it's just like coinciding with the 808, like they're working together. If it's something where maybe the bass doesn't have as much sub information, or maybe it's like a live bass or even a synth bass that isn't super subby, the kick's probably going to take precedent. So I'm probably going to precedent. That's probably why I'm going to want to put a little more low end in that kick, because it's going to be sitting on top of the bass. And so especially if you're in a car that has, a system of some sort or any sub in there, if the bass doesn't have a lot of sub information and the kick doesn't either, then the record just sounds kind of flat in those environments. So if I don't get enough sub low end out of the bass material that's in there, I'll try to add some to the kick if the kick's the driving force of things. But if the sub is like super booming, I'll probably focus a little more on the click part of the kick, so that it pokes through and sounds like it's part of the 808. So you're getting the transient and the low end boom. But yeah, overall, a good job here.
Yes. All right. So up next, let's see. Up next we have it's like the spin the wheel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. Dash World.
Dash World.
Yep.
All right, To Fly With Me.
Yes, and he's in YouTube, and basically just looking for overall balance of the master and how loud am I. That was basically what was mentioned.
Okay.
And so Mixed by Nair just said,
what was this exported out of? This is a theory I'm about to prove.
Well, you're trying to figure that out. Okay.
So like, yeah, there's whenever a certain program exports files, when you import them into Pro Tools, it automatically separates them into two separate files.
And usually you're saying that's what? Which one? Which DAW, particular DAW?
Yeah, particular DAW that does this.
I have a feeling I know what it is.
Yeah, let me real quick. We're gonna spread these two. Pause.
And Nick Barnier said, "Yeah, makes sense, Curtis. The low end was modeled off First Class by Jack Harlow, which has a thinner, more subby sounding bass." And he said, "Thanks for the feedback."
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I said it's the material, so it's like, regardless of what you want to hear or whatever, you kind of just work with the material that you have and make the best decision that you can in that moment. So. Yeah, I think you're gonna
Someone
run.
said Studio One.
Yeah, Studio One.
Bway said Studio One. He's trying to guess the
I'm
dogs.
gonna let y'all keep guessing on this DAW.
I was gonna say Ableton.
No, it's
Even
not. It's not Ableton either. It's
okay,
actually
I'm surprised
it's
because
like
Ableton
not.
I know does a. I mean, Ableton is my Ableton, but
Yeah, it's not a. It's not the most common DAW, and I could be off. I just know that this specific DAW that I'm speaking of does this, and I've
mm,
had it happen multiple times in the past. So just
my
curious.
man said I accept no Studio One slander over here.
No, I haven't. I don't think Studio One does it. It's a. I'm gonna let y'all keep.
Oh yeah, he
Oh, there
said
we go.
Cubase.
There it is. There
Ellen
it is.
said
That's my
Cubase.
dogs. Yeah, Cubase. Cubase every time. Don't know why. But yeah, when you export things in Cubase and then import it into Pro Tools, it automatically makes
Oh,
them.
like you said, import into right.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, that
like
makes
they're
sense.
not stereo interleave files or something. Um,
Yep. Okay.
so
Oh yeah. So we mentioned Dash World. Yeah. So again, the overall balance of the master and how loud am I?
okay, cool. Let me just see if splitting that off into left rights did us
I'm not
justice.
hating HJ. I love Ableton. I mean, that's what I use right now. That's
Yeah,
what I'm used to.
I use Ableton for production, so yeah, I've imported a lot of Ableton stems and things, and there's no issues there in the Pro Tools. Yeah, no, it's always Cubase, and I think it's just a I think it's just a setting or a parameter that doesn't come stock.
Mm,
You could probably fix it in there. I just don't work in Cubase, and Cubase has a great sound.
mm,
Um, but yeah,
mhm.
I've dealt with this numerous times before. All right, let's give this a listen.
All right.
Please understand, I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm a mess now. Get into my tatting. Fede got tava ho jwang my homies I got puzzle. Especially, we ready to on the way tote. Imagine I lose all my dreams that maybe in Cape offer. Not suicidal, I do not condone it. I'm in man, I feel I'm and try on my best. Die dem en goes up my hui pusha. Enna.
Baby, your love is just something I need, and you know what I try, but I just can't escape. I know my job always gets me to leave you, and now it just feels like the soul is a waste. Then I leave again and again. When I come back, then you build up a case, and now all my niggas is not catching strays. You crying on time, you can never regain. Yeah. Look me deep inside my eyes. Tell me if you think I'm lying. I'll swallow all my pride to keep you satisfied. But pain is the game. Ufuna uphila kahle ntombazane. Mama umputsa kulobola nini. If I could do it, I'd do it today.
Okay, this way I go independent. This way I beef up the content. This when I trust the process. I learned so many men only in 2 years. Cause I'm a hospina at Jobet. Man, I still graduated. Because I did that. Yeah, but the privacy invaded. Got me feeling so jaded. Have been waiting impatient. And also guitar by engagement. Okay. I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm a mess.
So I know they were asking about loudness for the master. It's still within range. It's sitting at like -10. I'm usually cool in that range. You probably, if you wanted, you could get another dB or two out of it if you really wanted to. But if not, it would still translate well on streaming. I always feel like when you overdo the loudness and then it goes to streaming, if I know like a lot of listeners don't turn off their like sound match thing, and because of that it like makes things sound different. So if you're like a dB different, it's not going to affect you at all on streaming, and it'll probably sound better with lower LUFs going into streaming when they bring it up. As far as like the mix and stuff goes, like I would like to hear a little bit more low end. It felt a little mid and top heavy, but there was nothing like too sibilant or anything. So I don't think like I would get rid of any top end. I think I would just add some low end to kind of even it out, make it a little bit more, give it a little more warmth, makes it a little bit easier on the ears, which creates more replayability. The longer your ears are exposed to like 2K and up, you get ear fatigue, and you'll naturally want to turn the song off. So I think just adding some of this low end in there would do it justice. I did not, as you noticed, make it just mid only because the bass had stereo information. So boosting mid and sides on the bass put it in a better pocket for me personally. And I covered everything they asked for, right, Anya, on as far as like what they were looking for as feedback wise?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the overall balance of the master and how loud am I? So I mean, yeah, I feel like you covered that.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not mad at the loudness. You could probably get away with another dB if you really wanted to push it, but otherwise it's really just the low end. Oh, I'm sorry, I did want to say in this section right here, I think with the two different vocalists, like the certain elements sound a little bit different, but when the first vocalist comes in, the snare sounds low to me. It sounds like the vocals on top of the snare and the bass is on top of the snare, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think for a preference for me, I like the snare to feel right up front with the vocal and sometimes even more in front of the vocal, just as like a personal preference for me. That was really the only thing that was sticking out. So like in this part,
I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm a mess now. Get into my thing.
It just feels like the snares underneath the pianos and the like all the other sounds. I don't know if that was a conscious choice or not. That's always up to the mixer. I think for me personally, in my style of mixing, I would like to see the snare more forward, and probably the music not be as loud, so that the snare and the drums could shine through a little more with the vocals. Not turning it down a bunch, but just to where it feels like the music, even though it's wide and not super in the way, it kind of makes the drums feel a little bit tucked, and I think you might have a little more depth with bringing the music down a little bit and the drums up a little more. All right, otherwise, great job. That's To Fly With Me, just in case everybody wants to know in the chat.
Yes.
And then
Right. Up next, and you'll have to probably scroll a little bit in the email, but up next will be Flowman.
yes, I see Flowman. Okay, it's called Run the Fade.
On the Fade. And Flowman is looking, I can't even speak. Looking, blending words, mixing feedback, general tonal balance, and EQ and improvement suggestions.
Okay, let's see what we got. Flowman.
Yeah, Flowman been in the chat. You know, Flowman.
I seen
be loyal.
I seen he
Yeah.
been up in here. Yeah, he been up here going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see from the last one I see. From the last one I see, the top end was surprisingly smoother. Yeah, sometimes your eyes are deceiving. Like I said, the spectrum looked like the top end is about to be crazy, and it wasn't really piercing on that last one. So I think just.
So yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
so
you're good.
again, Flowman mixing feedback, general tonal balance, and EQ and improvement suggestions.
Okay, word. Let's get this
Bway said that aggressive Texas boy.
done.
Texas.
All right, it's called Run the Fade. Flowman, let's hear
He said I'm not that aggressive.
it.
One of my goals is to live on a yacht, from the chopper to my jet. I'll live in the sky, fuck the land, cause the land is full of man and they lie. If I was in the garden, I'd have told Eve, bye, like, God, can you bring me a dime more fly? But I need this other rib, so just take it from the horse, so my queen can have the hair and the power of a horse. And that backside, of course, just my whacked out thought, till I heard a light voice, felt the tap on his shoulder, was the way to sing, and they were out of case. Recognized my face, cause then he dropped his paper that he used to take an order. Said sorry, but you're the restaurant patrons looked over. Yeah, it's Flowman and everyday Tony. He gon' talk about this moment forever with his woman. How he saw Run the Fade and they changed were enormous.
respect before we show up. Want every dollar that they owe us. They worry about the lies that they told us. It's danger over here, don't approach us. It costs us to love us, baby. All that hate don't drive you crazy. Must adapt, the world keep changing. It's your moment, seize it, baby. Imagine me, I'm the vision of a dragon. Fire in my lungs and I spit straight passion. Flanked by my lady, she a paragon of fashion. If only looks to kill, she considered an assassin. But the fact is, people think I'm undeserving. Landmines on the road, I just keep on swerving. Been throwing fastballs, but I switch a curving. Living on another world, I am still an earthling. I'm different than these other niggas. Ask about me, I have never been a sucker nigga. Raised right, I am thankful for my father figure. Niggas claiming that they alpha and I beg to differ. Perfect clarity, you get the picture. Fourth round knockout, I am crowned the victor. Simmer down, shut your mouth and absorb the wisdom. With my tongue rule the world, just ask your sister. Need our respect before we show up. Want every dollar that they owe us. They worry about the lies that they told us. It's danger over here, don't approach us. It costs us to love us, baby. All that hate don't drive you crazy. It's your moment, seize it, baby. Need our respect before we show up. Want every dollar that they owe us. They worry about the lies that they told us. It's danger over here, don't approach us. It costs us to love us. Hate don't drive you crazy. Must adapt, the world keep changing. It's your moment, seize it, baby.
Yeah, I like the song. The song's got a great vibe. I see people in here saying 2009 jam. I just like the vibe in general. I think the vibe of the record is dope. I see somebody put movie soundtrack vibe. I hear that as well. I think everything is cool. You'll see these things I did here. This is one of those records I was just talking about where like the bass line is like a live bass line, not a subby bass line. So I would want to like add some more like 30 to 60 hertz somewhere in the kick to kind of fill out a little bit more of the low end since the bass line doesn't really have a lot of sub information. This is for that actual bass line. It was just kind of like a resonant ringing note that I was just kind of hearing ringing throughout, kind of tightened it up and cleaned it up a little bit on the guitar bass. This little boost was for the snare. I seen somebody say the drums could knock harder personally. Yeah, for me, the snare could have a little more body. The drums kind of feel, they cut through and they're balanced, but they feel a little digital. I think getting some more low mids, some lows could probably warm them up and make them feel a little bit more forward. And then both of these frequencies, so this one is for like the open hat. I felt like I was hearing this frequency was kind of pulling my attention away from the rest of the song. So I feel like taking this down and just that open hat kind of felt a little like it put everything a little bit in a better place. And then this is for the vocal sibilance. Was that 7K? Just something light, it's nothing crazy. Obviously, I'm not, we're doing what? We're doing like 1.3 dB that we're pulling down. So I don't think it's, super crazy, just nitpicking. And I think I was mentioning earlier, I know I always have the Pro Q3 out here. It's just because it's the easiest thing to kind of find these frequencies for you visually. But I do like to use the McDSP AE400 EQ. It's multi-band. It's got compression and EQ on it, basically. But I like to do a lot of my surgical stuff on vocals, like finish my vocals with a McDSP AE400, kind of doing this type of stuff here. I'm just showing you with FabFilter because it's the AE400 isn't visual at all. All right, so Ani, we covered all of that, right? That's what.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like basically, yeah, Flowman just said, I really be taking notes on these streams when I give feedback. He said, I literally write down on a notepad. And yeah, and what I can say is from here and other platforms, like Flowman really does take in like the feedback. And I've just seen him just like evolve so much over the months. So like Yeah, I think that's really dope. I know he does. I know he takes notes.
Yeah, I feel like that's what this is all about. I mean, just the engineering community in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no one way to mix a record. So I feel like getting feedback. That's why I like to even hear what y'all are doing. Because some stuff that I'm hearing, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but it sounds good for this record. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go home and I'll try to figure out what was going on or how can I incorporate that into my mixes. So definitely, take notes. Obviously, these are, it's my feedback. It's what my preferences are. I feel like definitely take notes and try some stuff out, and like somewhere in the middle, you're gonna find, what works best for you and your sound. But yeah, I love the community aspect of all this. We're all helping each other out right
Yeah,
now, which is
for
dope.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and he said, "Bet, thank you, Curtis. I really appreciate you taking the time for me and others."
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I appreciate y'all for coming out and giving us the time. I know y'all got sessions and
Exactly.
things to do, so I really appreciate y'all popping out to be a part of this.
Yep, exactly. So okay, up next we have, you'll see at the top of the email is Matt from IG.
Boom. All right. Gonna download this real quick. Matthew, Project 171.
I didn't realize I was muted. So Matt said, please find anything that would prevent this mix from moving forward to being mastered. He said, would vocals be able to be added to the stems? He said, basically, I want to know if this music would benefit other artists as well. So I'd love to know more of what he means from that, but that maybe you might have an understanding.
No, I'm with you. I want to know. I want to know more too. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Let's see what we're talking about. Okay, so for me, obviously you could see, it's super loud, super hot dog vibes on the waveform. So I believe you had said what's preventing this from going to mastering. My first thing is that you're already hitting at mastering levels. So your mastering engineer is going to have to turn this down to even create any space for them to work with. And all you're doing by doing that is flattening out your transients. So, having your sound go from where, let's see what we're hitting at on this one. Yeah, so you're already hitting at -6.5, and your mastering engineer is going to be forced to turn this down and then get back to 6.5, and 6.5 is already probably a little too loud for this record in general. There is some sort of like vocal thing going on in there that kind of sounds a little offbeat to me. Um, I think also in these EQs that I was playing with, you had mentioned something about getting vocals and putting them on here. This is where vocals would probably go, and I feel like there's not a lot of room for vocals. It's kind of hard to mix a record without vocals and then think that you could just drop the vocals in and it's gonna be cool. It's like depending on the tone of the vocalist, how it was recorded, all of those type of things. You'll probably have to rework everything together with all the stems. Um, I feel like because of it getting squashed so much, I'm sure a lot of your low end was getting cut off. So boosting this kind of helped out for me a little bit. And then there's like that main kind of like whistly, like, I don't know, eerie, fluty sound. I feel like that you can see the peaks like poke out in between everything right here. A little aggressively. I'd probably go in and surgically EQ that a little bit more, maybe even decrease some of the dynamic range with a compressor or something like that on that specific stem. And then the top end, as you saw, like most of the energy of this song was coming from the top end. And that's usually because whatever you had on your two bus, which um, in reality is just mastering on your mix, um, is chopping the low end and bringing out all the top end. So I feel like your EQ curve is a little reversed for me to where like the loudest points are the top end and then they slowly fall down as they get to the bass. And I feel like normally it's the other way around, where the highest point on your spectrum is the low end and it slowly, gradually falls down. Let me see if I have this to go through what I mean. So like right here on this analyzer, let me slide this over just a little bit. On this analyzer, you'll see like the low end is up there, but like this should all be falling down to like this. So all of this right here is like, I don't know, 5, 6 dB, super loud. Um, and then even right here, these two peaks, that's that like eerie kind of whistly thing that's going on. That's where these peaks are coming from. So I would smooth that out. I would smooth the top end out. That's going to leave room for vocals here when you put vocals in, and then the overall tonal balance will probably feel a little bit better. But yeah, otherwise, I feel like it's maybe don't focus so much on the loudness of your record first. I would try to get your mix done without anything on your two bus, and start doing mixes that way to get your bass line, and then you could throw a limiter on after, if you want to hear it louder. But I wouldn't send something this loud to a mastering engineer. I would, if you have a limiter on to show your client or whatever, makes sense. But I would end up taking that limiter off, which is why I wouldn't mix into my limiter, if I was planning on taking it off at the end, because it's going to alter your mix. But I think that's it for that one. Anya, did I miss anything as far as what they were asking for in feedback?
No, not that I know. Seemed pretty good. Like you covered everything.
Okay, cool. Let's peep this chat. What's who do we got coming up next?
Okay, so now up next we have Bway.
Okay, cool.
Should be probably at the top. And
So
basically just looking for balance between vocals and music.
okay, cool. So it looks like this might be the last one we could do for today.
Okay.
So let's run through this one, and then let's just see what time it is and see if maybe we can get one more in after this.
Maybe one more. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get
Maybe.
one more in after this. But
Okay.
all right. So this is At the Party. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, before you continue, just for everybody to know, ideally every Monday, I know it's Thursday, but basically every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is where you can submit your music for a chance to have Curtis listen to it and provide feedback. All you need to do is participate, be active in the chat, bring good vibes. You basically go to the cardtestlive.com on Monday and you basically submit. Just follow the form and you'll see it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, again, I know it's Thursday. We had some difficulties on Monday that didn't allow us to stream, so we're doing it today. But yeah, every Monday is normally when we do this, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So pull up, submit. We'll have a little party. Next time we're bringing pizza. I told everybody we're doing a pizza party next time.
Pizza party.
All right, so we have Bway at the party.
Yes.
And then what did we want notes wise and feedback and all of that?
Balance between vocals and music.
Vocals and music, and then okay, perfect. Let's just play this from the top.
Where did all my friends go? Seems like they left me at the party. Maybe I'm too slow. Doesn't look like they're even sorry. Where my friends at? All by myself, sitting in the back. Everybody like, who's that? Maybe I should leave and never ever come back, come back. Where did all my friends go? Seems like they left me at the party. Maybe I'm too slow. Doesn't look like they're even sorry. Where my friends at? All by myself, sitting in the back. Everybody like, who's that? Maybe I should leave and never ever come back, come back. Where did all my friends go? Seems like they left me at the party. Maybe I'm too slow. Doesn't look like they're even sorry.
All right, so I'm not mad at the actual volume levels too much. I think the guitars are probably a little bit louder than the vocals, but in this type of genre of music, I think people kind of get away with that. So that's kind of a personal preference thing. You probably could bring, the guitars down or the vocals up a little bit if you wanted to. For me, the biggest thing that I heard was like the clap. I think it's a clap.
Where did all my friends go?
Yeah, the clap to me just feels like a little under everything, which I think is the clap is part of the anchor of the rhythm aspect of this song. So I feel like we'd want to see that come out a little more. On the EQ I had, you've seen I boosted. This is like super subby stuff. I know like there's not a lot of sub information in this or technically in this genre of music. There's not as much sub as other genres. As you could see, though, there's not really a lot there. So when I boost it, it's kind of just changing the phase a little bit.
Where did all my friends go? Seems like they left me at the party. Maybe I'm too slow. Doesn't look like they're even sorry. Where my friends at? All by myself, sitting in the back.
Yeah, I think just adding that adds a little bit of like a little warm hug around the vocal. But again, that's a personal preference of mine. And it's not like adding a bunch of information. It's kind of just changing the balance of the whole thing a little bit, which is why it's in a shelf and not like a bell curve. Let's see what we got in loud.
Where did all my friends go? Seems like they left me at the party. Maybe I'm too slow.
So yeah, I like that. It's hitting that -6, -7, -8, which is super loud, and it doesn't feel overly aggressive, which is a kind of a cool thing to achieve. So good job there. This is the EQ curve in RMS basically, and this is, like I said, this is more kind of typical of what you would see on a lot of your mix curves, where the low end and it kind of gradually tapers off here. You'll see right here though, this is where I ended up boosting a little bit of information as there's not really any there. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's good. Other than that, the balance wasn't crazy. I think just that clap was the biggest thing for me. Let's see.
Did you want to do one more or was that the final?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay,
Fuck
so we got one more.
yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, stop. Okay. So this last one, this is Kevin. Kevin, he's on YouTube, Kevin Minwoo. And let me just see. Just basically just wanted general mixed feedback, opinions. Yes, that was it.
Okay, cool. Let me just download this.
Kevin, I hope you're still here. Because I did see you, but
Kevin. It's like
Kevin.
It's like Home Alone.
Kevin. Yes.
Kevin. Oh my God, where's Kevin?
Where's Kevin? And Kevin, just to be clear, no, there's no list for this one. I know what you're referring to. This is just people participating, submitting, and then I just choose pretty much like in a sense at a random.
We're doing it live. That's what we do
Kevin,
over here.
please tell me. Show back up. Just making sure you're here. We squeezed one more, so hope you didn't leave.
Yeah, this is for you, buddy. This is for you, Kevin. All right. Was there? Did he? Did they leave any notes? Like what? If there's
It
any
was just
specifics?
general mixed feedback, opinions that you had. Nothing really like